Hello, listeners, and welcome back to Everyday Health Stories, the podcast where we uncover the science behind better health through simple yet powerful lifestyle changes. If this is your first time joining us, hit pause for a moment and click on follow or subscribe, depending on where you're listening. That way, you'll get notified of new episodes, gain access to exclusive content, and join a community that's making positive changes, one story at a time. Dr. Reddy, today's topic is something that might completely change how people think about exercise. We all know that working out is good for our health, but what if I told you that certain workouts could literally slow down aging at the DNA level?
That's absolutely right, Anna. Science has now shown that specific types of exercise can increase telomere length, and telomeres are one of the key factors in how fast or how slowly we age.
But here's the surprising part. Not all exercises work. In fact, many workouts that people do every day have almost no effect on slowing down cellular aging. The difference between the right and wrong exercises could mean up to 9 extra years of cellular health, years that could keep you younger, stronger, and disease-free.
Right, and the reason for that comes down to telomeres. Telomeres are like the protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes. Think of them like the plastic tips on shoelaces. Every time our cells divide, these telomeres shorten, and when they get too short, the cell can no longer function properly. This leads to aging, cell death, and even diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and Alzheimer's.
So can we actually stop this shortening process?
Yes, we can, and not just stop it. Certain types of exercise can even increase telomere length, effectively reversing biological aging at the cellular level.
But not all exercises do this, right? Some workouts have little to no effect on telomere length.
Right. This is the part that most people don't realize. Not all exercise is equal when it comes to longevity. Research shows that low and moderate activity levels don't really affect telomere length at all. But high-intensity exercise, the kind that really pushes your body, can add up to 9 extra years of cellular health.
Wait, so you're saying that depending on what kind of exercise you do, you could either be extending your lifespan or wasting your time?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And today, we're going to break down the absolute best exercises for telomere lengthening and how our listeners can incorporate them into their routine to literally slow down aging at the genetic level.
All right, Dr. Reddy, before we get into the best exercises for extending telomeres, let's start with the basics. You mentioned telomeres are like the plastic tips at the end of shoelaces, keeping our chromosomes from fraying. But let's go deeper. Why do telomeres matter so much when it comes to aging?
Telomeres play a huge role in how fast we age. As they shorten over time, cells reach a point where they can no longer divide effectively. This process leads to what we call cellular aging, and that's when problems start.
And by problems, we're talking about more than just wrinkles and gray hair, right?
Right. When telomeres become too short, the consequences can be serious. Some cells stop dividing entirely, leading to organ deterioration, while others become dysfunctional, increasing the risk of chronic diseases. For example, in the heart, damaged cells in blood vessels make arteries stiff, which raises the risk of heart attacks and strokes. In diabetes, shorter telomeres are linked to insulin resistance, making it harder for the body to regulate blood sugar. In the brain, telomere shortening affects brain cells, preventing them from regenerating properly. This is a major factor in memory loss, Alzheimer's, and dementia. And in some cases, damaged telomeres can trigger mutations instead of cell death, which may increase the risk of cancer. So keeping your telomeres healthy isn't just about slowing aging, it's about protecting yourself from these serious conditions.
Wow, so this isn't just about looking younger, it's about staying healthier, longer at a deep cellular level.
That's right. And here's what's really shocking. Studies show that your biological age can be years or even decades older than your actual age if your telomeres shorten too fast.
So let me get this straight. 2 people who are both 50 years old could actually have very different biological ages depending on how long their telomeres are?
Exactly. One person might have the cellular health of a 35-year-old, while another could have the biological age of a 70-year-old, even though both are technically the same age.
And you're saying this difference all comes down to lifestyle?
Yes, and that's the good news. You can control how fast your telomeres shorten. Exercise, nutrition, stress management, and sleep all play a role in keeping them longer for as long as possible.
Okay, so now that we know telomeres are like the biological clock of our bodies, Let's get to the real question. How do we keep them from shrinking too fast? And even better, can we actually grow them?
That's where exercise comes in. Certain workouts don't just slow down telomere shortening, they can actually increase telomere length, reversing some of the cellular aging process. But the key is knowing which exercises work and which don't.
All right, Dr. Reddy, now that we understand how telomeres control our aging process, it's time to get into the real question. Are people actually working out the right way to extend their lifespan? Or are they wasting their time?
That's a great question, Anna, because here's the thing. Not all exercise helps keep your telomeres long. In fact, a lot of the workouts that people do every day have almost no effect on slowing down cellular aging.
Wait, you mean someone could be working out regularly and still not be getting any of the anti-aging benefits at the DNA level?
Yes, exactly. The research shows that only high-intensity exercise significantly affects telomere length. Meanwhile, low and moderate exercise don't make a real difference. Let's break this down.
All right, let's talk about what doesn't work. What types of exercises fall into this category?
The research shows that certain forms of exercise, while beneficial in other ways, don't significantly increase telomere length because they aren't intense enough to trigger the right biological response. For example, casual walking is great for movement, but at a slow pace, it doesn't push your body enough to stimulate telomere growth. Light yoga or stretching improves flexibility and relaxation, but it doesn't challenge your cardiovascular system in a way that affects telomere length. Leisurely golf might involve some walking, but the overall intensity is too low to make a real difference at the cellular level. Slow swimming or just floating in a pool may feel good, but if you're not raising your heart rate and pushing your endurance, you're missing out on telomere benefits. And finally, low-intensity gym workouts, where you're just moving weights around without much effort, don't have the same effect as high-intensity training. So, while these activities are still valuable for overall well-being, if your goal is cellular-level anti-aging, you need to incorporate higher-intensity exercise into your routine.
So if someone's just going for a stroll every day or casually lifting weights here and there, they're not really slowing down their biological aging?
That's right. Those activities are better than doing nothing, but they won't significantly extend telomere length. If you want to add years to your life, you need to push your body beyond its comfort zone.
Okay, now this is interesting. What about mistakes? Are people unknowingly doing things that might actually make their telomeres shorter?
Yes, there are a few major mistakes that can actually speed up telomere shortening instead of protecting them. Here are some of the biggest ones to avoid. First, overtraining without recovery. If you push your body too hard without giving it time to recover, it can create oxidative stress, which damages telomeres rather than preserving them. Rest and recovery days are just as important as your workouts. Second, lack of sleep after exercise. Exercise helps your body, but without enough sleep, you're not allowing it to repair and regenerate properly. This can lead to weakened telomeres and increased aging at the cellular level. Third, bad nutrition paired with exercise. If you're working out but still eating a diet high in sugar and processed foods, you're increasing inflammation in the body. That inflammation cancels out the benefits of exercise and negatively impacts telomere length. And finally, chronic stress while exercising. If you're working out in a highly stressed state, your body produces excess cortisol, a stress hormone that has been shown to accelerate telomere shortening. Exercise should help reduce stress, not add to it.
So what I'm hearing is balance is key. Too little activity does nothing, but too much without recovery can actually backfire?
That's exactly it. It's not just about exercising, it's about exercising the right way.
All right, Dr. Reddy, we've covered a lot so far. We now know that low and moderate exercises don't have a real impact on telomere length, but high-intensity exercises do. But how do we actually measure what counts as high intensity?
That's another great question, Anna. Scientists use something called MET, or metabolic equivalent of task, to measure the intensity of different physical activities. A MET value tells us how much energy you're burning compared to just sitting still.
So, for example, if an activity has a MET value of 3, that means you're burning 3 times more energy than you would if you were just sitting.
That's correct. And when we look at telomere health, research shows that only exercises with higher MET values, typically above 6 METs, are linked to increased telomere length. Low-intensity activities, like casual walking or light stretching, fall between 2.5 and 4 METs, which isn't enough to trigger the biological response needed to protect telomeres.
That makes sense, but what about MET minutes? I've seen that term used in research. How is it different from MET?
Met minutes take both intensity and duration into account. It's calculated by multiplying the met value of an activity by how many minutes you perform it. This helps measure the overall workload of an exercise session.
Can you give an example?
Of course, let's take jogging as an example. If you jog for 30 minutes, which has a met value of 7, you multiply 7 mets by 30 minutes, giving you 210 met minutes. Now compare that to someone taking a leisurely walk for the same 30 minutes. Walking at a slow pace has a met value of 2.5, so 2.5 mets times 30 minutes equals just 75 met minutes. See the difference? A short, high-intensity workout gives you way more cellular benefits than a longer, low-intensity one. That's why intensity matters when it comes to protecting your telomeres.
Wow, that really puts things into perspective. So how many met minutes should we be aiming for?
The general recommendation for health benefits is 500 to 1000 met minutes per week. But for telomere health specifically, studies suggest that people who engage in high levels of physical activity, closer to 1500 to 2000 met minutes per week, tend to have the longest telomeres.
So it's not just about how long you exercise, but how hard you're working during that time. Got it. But now it's time for the real question. What are the absolute best exercises to keep our telomeres long and our DNA young?
If you want to protect your DNA and add years to your life, here are the exercises that work best. The first one is jogging or running, which has a met value of 7 to 10, depending on pace. Running helps reduce oxidative stress and inflammation, two major factors that cause telomeres to shorten. Research shows that runners tend to have longer telomeres compared to people who don't exercise regularly. To get these benefits, aim to jog or run about 3 to 5 miles per session, at least 3 or 4 times per week.
So runners are literally running their way to longer telomeres?
That's right. Even jogging at a slow pace, which is around 6 to 7 mets, is still far better than not moving at all. Next is high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, which is one of the most time-efficient ways to keep your telomeres long. This involves short bursts of intense exercise followed by brief recovery periods. HIIT workouts have a met value of 8.5 or higher, meaning that even a short 20-minute session can generate over 170 met minutes. That's almost twice the benefit of a 45-minute brisk walk with 4 mets, which only gives you around 180 met minutes. So, with HIIT, you're getting more impact in half the time.
So short, intense bursts of exercise actually tell the body to repair its DNA?
Yes, high-intensity interval training stimulates telomerase, the enzyme that helps repair and extend telomeres. For those who prefer cycling, fast cycling at a pace above 10 miles per hour has a met value of 10. That means a 45-minute fast cycling session produces 450 met minutes, which is excellent for telomere health. But keep in mind that a slow, leisurely ride at less than 10 miles per hour has a met value of 4, meaning it won't give the same cellular benefits.
That's a huge difference. So someone cycling at a challenging pace will see far more benefits than someone just cruising around?
Exactly. Intensity is the key. The same goes for swimming. Swimming laps vigorously has a met value of 9, meaning a 30-minute swim generates 270 met minutes. But if you're just floating in the pool or taking it slow, your met value drops to 4.5, meaning your telomere benefits are cut in half.
So swimming isn't just great for fitness, it's actually keeping your cells young?
Yes, it does. It's especially great for people who need a low-impact workout. If you prefer being outdoors, hiking uphill, or walking with added weight is another fantastic way to increase telomere length. Unlike regular walking, hiking on an incline or carrying a weighted backpack forces your heart and lungs to work harder, improving endurance and mitochondrial health. For example, hiking on flat terrain has a met value of 5, but when you add an incline or extra weight, it jumps to 7.5 or even 8 mets. That means a 60-minute uphill hike could generate over 450 met minutes, making it much more effective than a slow walk. To get the most benefits, try to hike at a brisk pace for at least an hour. But if you prefer walking on flat ground, you can still increase intensity by wearing a weighted vest or carrying a backpack. A weighted walk can reach 6.5 mets, giving you significantly more impact than regular walking, which is only 2.5 to 4 mets.
So adding weight while walking can actually turn it into a telomere-boosting workout?
Exactly. If regular walking feels too easy, wearing a weighted vest makes it much more effective for building endurance and keeping your telomeres long. Another great option is rowing at a vigorous effort, which is a full-body workout that builds endurance and strength while improving cardiovascular health. Rowing at a moderate effort has a MET value of 5, but when done vigorously, it reaches 8 METs, putting it in the same category as running and HIIT for telomere benefits. To see real results, aim to row for 30 to 45 minutes, at least 3 to 4 times per week. The key is to maintain a steady, challenging pace, rather than just casually pulling the handle. With consistent effort, a 45-minute vigorous rowing session can generate over 360 MET minutes, making it an excellent alternative to running.
Rowing seems like a hidden gem for longevity.
It really is. It burns a high number of calories, engages multiple muscle groups, and is one of the best low-impact alternatives to running for keeping your telomeres long.
Okay, we've got the best exercises. Now, how do we put them into a weekly routine?
A good weekly routine should include a mix of endurance and high-intensity training. Here's a simple schedule anyone can follow. On Monday, start with a 20-minute HIIT session. On Tuesday, go for a 45-minute cycling session or a run. Wednesday can be your rowing or swimming day for about 30 to 45 minutes. Thursday should be a rest day or something light like yoga or stretching. On Friday, do another HIIT workout, just like Monday. Saturday is a great day for a longer hike or a weighted walk, about an hour long. And finally, Sunday can be another rest or light activity day. This routine keeps the intensity high, allows for proper recovery, and gives you the best results for telomere protection.
All right, Dr. Reddy, we've learned that not all exercise helps with aging, and that only high-intensity workouts can actually extend telomere length. We've also broken down the best exercises, running, HIIT, cycling, swimming, hiking, and rowing, and given listeners a solid weekly workout plan. But now, let's talk about how people can actually start implementing this into their daily lives.
The key to success is consistency. The good news is you don't have to completely overhaul your life overnight. You just need to start small and build up over time. If you're someone who's been mostly sedentary or doing only light exercise, don't feel overwhelmed. You don't need to go from zero to sprinting overnight.
So what's the best way for someone to start making these changes?
A great starting point is to pick just one high-intensity workout from our list and commit to doing it twice a week. Maybe it's a 15-minute HIIT workout, or maybe it's a short jog. Once that feels comfortable, build on it by increasing either the intensity or the number of workout days. The goal is to work your way up to at least 75 minutes of vigorous exercise per week, which is the minimum threshold to see benefits in telomere length.
That sounds manageable. Start small, build up, and make it a habit over time.
And the best way to stay on track is to schedule your workouts like appointments. Put them in your calendar, set reminders, and treat them as non-negotiable parts of your routine. Think of it as an investment in your future self.
So we've covered exercise, but I know telomeres are also influenced by other lifestyle factors. What are some additional things people can do to protect their telomeres beyond working out?
That's a very good question, Anna, and I'm glad you asked. Now, this is very important. Exercise is a huge factor, but it's not the only one. Here are some other key things you can do to protect and even lengthen your telomeres. First, prioritize sleep. Your body does most of its repair work while you sleep, and studies show that poor sleep is linked to shorter telomeres. If you're serious about longevity, aim for at least 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. Second, reduce stress. Chronic stress produces high levels of cortisol, which can accelerate telomere shortening. Incorporating relaxation techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or simply spending time in nature can help lower stress levels and protect your DNA. Third, eat an antioxidant-rich diet. The food you eat plays a huge role in oxidative stress, which is one of the biggest culprits behind telomere damage. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods, especially leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish. These foods are rich in antioxidants and omega-3s, both of which have been shown to support telomere health.
That's all great, Dr. Reddy, but are there any advanced therapies that could give telomeres even more protection? I've heard about hyperbaric oxygen therapy, or HBOT, being used for healing and recovery. Could that actually help with telomeres too?
Absolutely. Research suggests that HBOT can stimulate telomerase, which is the enzyme responsible for repairing and lengthening telomeres. It works by increasing oxygen levels in the body, which reduces inflammation and enhances cellular repair. Over time, this may help slow down the aging process at a cellular level.
That's incredible. So for someone who's already exercising regularly, occasional HBOT sessions can boost the benefits even further.
Yes, HBOT can be a great addition to an already healthy lifestyle. If someone is consistent with their workouts, adding a few HBOT sessions per month could enhance recovery, reduce oxidative stress, and further support telomere maintenance.
I've also read that sauna therapy could have anti-aging effects. Does that play a role in telomere health too?
Oh yes, regular sauna use, especially dry sauna or infrared sauna, activates heat shock proteins, which protect and repair cells from stress. It also improves circulation, reduces inflammation, and supports detoxification, all of which help preserve telomeres. Some studies suggest that frequent sauna use is linked to lower mortality rates and better overall longevity.
That's amazing. So just like HBOT, sauna therapy can be an extra layer of protection for your cells.
That's right. If you're already living an active and healthy lifestyle, adding 2 to 3 sauna sessions per week could help enhance recovery, reduce inflammation, and further support telomere length.
All right, let's quickly recap everything we've learned today. Dr. Reddy, what are the 3 biggest takeaways for our listeners?
First, not all exercise helps with aging. Only high-intensity workouts like running, HIIT, cycling, swimming, hiking, and rowing have been shown to extend telomere length. Second, exercise alone isn't enough. If you want to maximize your longevity, you also need good sleep, stress management, and a diet rich in antioxidants. And third, you don't have to change everything at once. Start small, build up over time, and gradually make these changes part of your routine. The key is to start where you are and gradually build up a sustainable lifestyle.
This episode has been truly enlightening. I never realized how much of an impact the right kind of exercise could have on aging. I'll definitely be rethinking my own workouts after this.
That's the goal. The science is clear. Exercise is one of the most powerful tools we have to slow aging. So if you want to stay younger, stronger, and healthier for years to come, start moving the right way today. But remember, this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Before making any major lifestyle changes or starting a new exercise program, always consult your healthcare provider to ensure it's safe and right for you.
And with that, we're wrapping up today's episode of Everyday Health Stories. If you found this episode helpful, take a moment to share it with someone who would benefit from this information. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a workout partner, let's help more people take control of their health and longevity. As always, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep listening to Everyday Health Stories. Remember, every story has the power to transform lives.
Take care, everyone. Bye for now.